All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, as you can see in the background here, we do have Black Smoker to go over today. This is a leader that came out all the way back in OP02, and then it was reprinted in Starter Deck 19. And guys, this is basically like going back to my roots in the game now, because when I first got into this game, it was in OP02 when they first introduced black as a color. And the Navy cards are what really attracted me to this game. Back then, I was running ST06 Starter Deck Sakazuki. Those were the good days, right? Now, back then, black was not very developed because it got into the game in OP02. For those who might be new to the game, let me explain something. This game started off with only 4 colors: red, green, blue, and purple. Okay, it started off with those 4 colors in that order on the hexagon at the bottom left of the card, right, in that order. And then in OP02, they introduced black into the game. And in OP03, they introduced yellow into the game. Okay? So when I first got into the game, they had just introduced these cool new black cards, these Navy cards that could KO. It felt very controlling. I really liked that back then, even though back then, black was very underdeveloped. It was not doing very well. Now, it has caught up since then, right, guys? Hey, it's definitely caught up since then. But just to kind of put things into perspective and just kind of say that, you know, it was very fun making today's video and doing these games. Number one, because the deck is very strong. Smoker's doing very well right now. That's number one. And number two, it was just kind of nice to get back into the cards that really got me into the game and have fun with those and have that Navy feel again. Okay? All right. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into this video. First things first, let me lay it out for you. We're going to head over to the deck list first. We'll check that out. We'll break it down and kind of see what we're dealing with, see how this leader works and things like that. That's first. After that, we're going to head over to the sim. We've got 5 games lined up on the sim today, guys. We got 5 games lined up on the sim. We've got some decent matchups. We got Green Yellow Law, Blue Doflamingo, Red Shanks, Green Purple Luffy, and Red Green Smoker. So I tried to get some pretty decent matchups for us today. Okay? After that, we're going to head back to the deck list. I'll tell you guys my final thoughts on it, and we'll go ahead and finish up and wrap it up in that way. Okay, guys? All right, let's do this. As usual, guys, I'll have everything timestamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and stuff like that in the comment section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not be afraid to put those in the comment section below as well, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link is in the channel description. One more thing before we launch into this. I will be streaming tonight. I stream from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. Eastern on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays here on YouTube. So if you get some free time, be sure to stop by, hang out, and have a good time with us. We have a good time on there. Okay, now let's do this, guys. Let's get into this. All right, guys. So here is the deck list we're going to be checking out today. This is the leader. We're going to look at this in just a second. I do at least want to show you where I got this from. I got this over on OnePieceTopDecks.com. If you go over to that website, go to the main page. This is what it will look like right here. This is like their front page. There's a bunch of spoilers and stuff you can check out, all kinds of good stuff. But if you go to deck list at the top, in the top middle here, or head over to deck list over here on the left, click on either one. It will bring you to this page. At the very top left, these are the East decks for OP10. And at the time of me recording this, it was the second list on here. Check this out, guys. This is the list we're going to be running today. Just card for card, I did a copy paste, went on here. It has the deck list in text, copied it over, threw it into the sim, and here it is, guys. This is the list. Excuse me. So with that in mind, this is the leader. If you guys hear some banging, by the way, I think there's like some construction going on like right down the road, so it's been loud all day, so I do apologize if y'all hear a bunch of loud banging in today's video. But check this out, guys. This is the leader we're running today. We got a 5,000 power, 5 life monocolor Navy leader. Okay, very nice. And it has the effect of Dawn ×1, activate main once per turn. So you have to attach a Dawn, and you can activate this during your main phase once per turn. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 to their cost during this turn. Then, and by the way, it does say give up to 1. So, I mean, I guess you could choose not to give it to someone if you don't want to, but you can give -1 to someone, okay? Then, if there is a character with a cost of 0 in play, this leader gains plus 1,000 power during this turn. Now, understand this real quick, guys. Understand this. I can give -1 cost to a 10 cost character, but if I already have another character reduced to 0 for the turn from maybe another effect, a previous effect during this turn that had someone down to 0, I will still get the plus 1,000 power, even if I do not target the character with the 0 power or what dropped it to 0 power for that matter. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys, when you're using this effect. It does have some utility. Now, let's go ahead and run through the list real quick. That's what the leader does. It is very nice. I will say one more thing before we move on. I do feel like so this leader was originally printed in OP02 when the black cards first came out in the game. But it was reprinted in ST19 for the new starter deck. And in that starter deck, we are using two very strong new cards in this new Sengoku we'll talk about in a moment, and this new Tashigi, which has incredible art. The art for this card is incredible. But bear in mind, guys, I just want to say this. I do feel like this leader is a little bit lackluster compared to what we see nowadays. Excuse me. So this leader requires you to attach a Dawn to do -1 power for the, or -1 cost for the turn for a character, right? We already have that. So Rob Lucci can just attack with no Dawn attached to do -1 to the cost of a character for the turn, and he gets to mill the top 2 cards of your deck, which is very solid for black right now, right? Now, it's true that you can get a 1 Dawn investment onto this character and get basically plus 2,000 power from the effect, potentially, but I still think most people would rather just run Lucci, especially since it opens up the potential of running the whole CP engine with cards like Spandam, which, by the way, this card is completely locked to CP only. It says if your leader has CP in its types, okay? That's the only way you can do the top 3 search, so I couldn't even try to run this in something like, Smoker if I wanted to get the effect. So do keep that in mind. But other than that, I will say, I feel like they had to basically print new cards that could only be used in this Smoker to their full effect in order for people to want to actually try to start playing this leader. This leader right here, of course, which is not a bad thing, right? It is good that they're giving support to older leaders, but at the same time, I wouldn't have been upset, and this is just a personal thing, I would not have been upset if they had fully updated this leader and made it a 5,000 power, 5 life leader, Navy, and all that, and then have it be a Dawn ×1 activate main, have it be the exact same thing, but one difference. Have it be plus 1,000 power until the start of your next turn. I wish it had been that, and that would have really pushed you to try to use that leader effect every turn. Because, guys, let me tell you something right now. You're probably not going to get that leader effect off every turn. I mean, it depends on who you're playing against, what decks, what they're going, and if they chose to play out their 1-cost searches or not. But generally speaking, this leader will not always get that -1. It probably can if you really try for it, but there's times where I did not get it off and actually get the buff from it. So with that in mind, I had to get that quick little rant out of the way. This is the list we're running, guys. Whenever you're building a deck right now that has black in the colors, if you're not running the 16 cards I'm about to say, I'll even say 20 cards to be honest with you, you're probably building the deck in the wrong direction. And that is 4 Brook, 4 Gecko, 4 Rebecca, 4 Ice Age, and then 4 of the 2K counter Suru. If you're not running those 20 cards, you might be building the deck wrong. I mean, I'm not saying you literally are. It depends on what you're running. Someone's going to be like, yeah, but what about Usopp? Okay, that's very different. That's a deck that was literally made with a new combo like that in mind. It gave it a whole brand new combo to go off of, right? Excuse me. I'm just saying, generally speaking, for anything that was printed, let's say this. Anything printed that was like an OP08 and before, and you're running a black deck from one of those, from that time period, yeah, so I guess before block 3, right? Set blocks 1 through 2, you might want to try to run this in whatever you're trying to do. But hey, that's not a problem. It's a very powerful package that it works. It gets the job done. So with that in mind, we are running all of the things I just said, of course, the Suru, the Ice Ages, and then the Gecko, Rebecca, Brook combo. Well, if we're running, this much Navy over here on the right here, I guess we're going to run 4 brand new as well. We're running the new Tashigi. Check out what this does. It's a 5-cost, 6,000 power, 1K counter Navy character, Tashigi, and it has on play, if your leader is Smoker, give up to one of your opponent's characters -4 cost during this turn. That effect is very powerful, and I feel like they did this the wrong way to make it basically where it is only for Smoker, because the -4 is probably the best part of this effect. Don't get me wrong, the activate main we're going to talk about in a second, but that -4, I wish they had made it where that was the universal effect that any black leader could run, where it's like on play -4 to the cost of a character for the turn. But then the activate main is once per turn. If it is the turn this character was played, place up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 0 in the trash. So I wish they had swapped it around where that part was locked to like, and not even just Smoker, lock it to Navy only, and then the on play effect I wish was a little more universal. But I don't know. That's just me, guys. I don't know. It is what it is. I'm not upset with it. I'm just saying I wish that's how it was done. Guys, this is a very, very powerful card. But that on-play effect is what really gives it power to -4 characters for the turn. Excuse me. And that they made it an activate main probably for 2 reasons. Number 1, it helps play around Blackbeard, which came out around the same time as this whole, ST19 you know, that whole new starter deck bundle. And then also with this Smoker Leader, you're able to activate this, get the plus 1,000 power for the turn, potentially, and then pop the character afterwards. So really good stuff there. This Tashigi is incredible. There's one other card we really have to go over here, and it is Sengoku. This is kind of, so Sengoku and brand new are basically now you basically have two searchers on your you know, on your early 1 Dawn or 2 Dawn play here to get off, you know, or your 1 Dawn or 2 Dawn turn to get off some really big searching. Sengoku is just great. We can trash cards early on that we might not want. The cards like Kobe and Hina, they are perfect to trash anyway, and even Suru to some extent to get back later with Gecko Moria or Tashigi, so we can get it back with Rebecca and cheat out something like a Brook. So this Sengoku early on is just absolutely incredible. It allows you to draw 3 cards by playing out a character and then trashing 2 cards. It is an extremely important card for what we're trying to do. And then, of course, the Tashigi, like I said. And then everything else is pretty straightforward, guys. We're not going to talk much about this. We'll spend a little bit of time on Kaido. Guys, this card is actually a monster, right? This card is an absolute monster right now because it is an activate main. So just playing this out on a 10 Dawn turn with our leader, we can pop, okay, it depends on what we have in our hand, but we can go leader effects, Dawn ×1 on our leader, -1 to a character, and we're popping an 8-cost character. We're trashing an 8-cost character with this effect. On top of that, if we have to combo with something like a Suru, now we're popping in a 9-cost character. Or if we combo with an Ice Age, or whatever the case is, we can go Suru, swing with Brook, and then do it. There's a lot of different things we could do, and then we can pop pretty much anything in the game, trashing it. And it's an activate main, so we can get around Blackbeard effects. So really good stuff here. This is a very powerful card. All right, that's about it, guys. I think that's all we're going to talk about. We are running Kobe in here. It's a great card to trash with Sengoku and get back later with the Rebecca and get some way bigger targets than we could hit normally with Brook. So good stuff here. Big fan of this. I like the Kuzans, the Borsalinos, and everything else. Everything else is pretty straightforward. All right, now let's get into these games, guys. Let's check it out. First game up here. Let me go volume off. Speed is on 2x. Let me move my camera back over to right here. We'll go ahead and shrink down the camera a little bit. Yeah, that's not too bad, right? Okay, first game up here we have against Green, Yellow, Law. And guys, this was quite the game. I'm not going to lie. This was quite the game here. Excuse me. We are going to be going second this game, and I think they typically want to go first, so that must be good for them because, yeah, they get to play out the Luffy, but I think they like going second as well as Trafalgar Law. I prefer going second with Trafalgar Law with the version I'm running, but yeah, we'll go second with this deck with Smoker anytime and every time. It is really good in this deck. So we get the quick turn 1 brand new. We filled up some cards our trash. I think we got like a Tashigi or a 2K counter or something from that. I can't remember. We'll play. They're going to play out the beige. They're going to set their top life card. They're going to play out a Jory Bonnie. And guys, they cannot actually, excuse me, they cannot actually use their leader effect because they don't have enough on the board. They need 5 or more cost on the board. Watch this, guys. We are going to swing in for, we're going to use the effect first. We're going to swing in for 7, -1 to the Luffy. We knew what the top card was because it was a X-Drake revealed. Now we're going to pop the Luffy and not the beige. The Luffy is what gives them a lot of gas, guys. We want to get the Luffy off the board. It gives them too much gas. Look, they have another one, though. That was very fortunate for them because that is such a good card to have. We got rid of one of them. They played out this Luffy for the second time now. So across 2 different Luffys, they've gotten 3 searches off. You better believe we're going to do everything in our power to get rid of that Monkey D. Luffy. 6 Dawn turn. This is the perfect Tashigi turn right here. We have to get rid of the Luffy, in my opinion, and we have to get rid of the Cavendish. I do not think we have another option here. We're going to slam down Tashigi, -4 to the Cavendish. We are now going to attach 1 Dawn to the Smoker, or at least we should. -1 more to Cavendish. We're going to trash the Cavendish. We're going to swing for 7. Let's see what happens here. See what he does. Okay. He gives me a 2K, and then he's going to give me another 2K. We're going to swing for 4, popping the Luffy, getting that card off the board. So we've gone through 2 Luffys now. That card is extremely good for Trafalgar Law because of the amount of value that it gets for them. They're going to play out the 7-cost Trafalgar Law. That card is an absolute monster. It's going to allow him to play a Cavendish, or excuse me, what's it called? A supernova character to the top of their life and attach a free Dawn to their leader. They're going to pull back the beige or whatever they had left, playing out the X-Drake, popping my Brook, and here they come. They're swinging in for 6. I'm going to 1K counter out of this instead of a 2K to get cards in my trash later for Gecko Moria. That was the logic there, and it also gives him a false signal like, oh, he has no 2K counters, right? So that's the logic there. Okay, here we go, guys. Let's see what happens. I've got a few different options. I'm trying to weigh them out in my head right now. I think we should just slam down another Tashigi and get rid of this X-Drake. This is definitely a turn we could have gone with another, with Gecko Moria. But I think we're just going to go Tashigi, -1, trash that, swing for 7. This is just such relentless pressure. We're at 3 life. We have 3 cards on the board. We have double Gecko in hand, double 2K counter, and a blocker. We have a lot going on for us right here. He is going to use an event here, a top 5 searcher for Supernova Pirates. I believe it's called More Pizza. And let's see what they choose to go with here. They can very easily go for the board with that Trafalgar Law. Yeah, 9 into 6. And honestly, I think I should... There's an argument to let it go, and there's also an argument to keep it on the board for more pressure. I'm just going to let it go, though, in case they do have something, I don't know. They could just load up and just go for it super aggressively. I'd rather just let it go. They're going to play out the Trafalgar Law. They're going to replay out the Bonnie, I believe, if I remember this game correctly. They're going to pull back the Bonnie, replay the Bonnie, and then I think they choose to not use the effect. I'm not sure. They're going to do 7 into 3. You can have that card. Yep, that's yours. And now, guys, we have some options here. Let's see what we can do. We don't have the craziest options. This is where Kobe comes in very handy, guys, but that's okay. And also Suru. The fact that we have no Surus in our trash, that really hurts, right? That actually really hurts us here. We're going to go another Tashigi because it's our best option. Now, having 3 Tashigis in the place of a Suru or a Kobe, we'll take that as well. We're not exactly upset with what's going on there, right? So we swing for 6, they take it. We swing for 7, they have to let it go. They have to give up their blocker there, I believe, or whatever they have. But yeah, the Bonnie, and we're going to play out a Borsalino. They're going to do another effect here with their Trafalgar Law to gain a life. And their board's actually getting very large. This is no joke here, guys. They actually have a very large board. Okay, Straw Sword. They're tapping down my Borsalino. We will save it. Then they get rid of it, and that's fine with us. We're fine with that. They're going to pull back the Trafalgar Law, and I don't know what they plan on doing here. I know they only have 3 cards in hand because that Trafalgar Law is a brick. We're going to swing for 7. They did the math incorrectly there. It doesn't matter. We could have got the 2 cards out of their hand, swung for 7 to for sure go through, and then swing everything else on the leader. Good game to my opponent. So you guys see what I'm saying at the end there? So let me explain what should have happened. So let's just pretend they did have a 2K counter when they messed up this attack right here. So right here, remember, all right, so they're going to go 2K and then what should have been a 1K. Let's just pretend they had it. I don't know if they did or not. So let's just assume they had a 2K, 1K. They'd have 2 cards left in their hand, correct? And remember, we know one of them is a 7-cost kid. So the most they could possibly have is 2,000 counter. Okay, swing for 7 with Tashigi. They get to use the Basil Hawkins, probably trashing the dead card in hand, the 7-cost Law, and maybe getting to 2 more 2K counters at the best. Doesn't matter, we swing in for the rest of our Dawn. Good game to my opponent there, but it was calculated from that point on. And they had 2 of that card in their hand even after the draw 2 trash one from Basil Hawkins. That's not good for our opponent. Okay, good game. That was for Green, Yellow, Law. Next up, we have a game versus Blue Doflamingo. Guys, we got a game versus Blue Doflamingo. Now, this is a shorter game. We're going to talk about it still, though. This one, they leave a little prematurely. I'm just trying to make sure y'all understand what's coming up here. I don't like to spoil it, but I don't want to get y'all's hopes up either. But there's a reason they left. Let me just say that. So they're going to go with a Kaya turn 1. That is very strange to me. But hey, it is what it is. They're going to use the Marshall D. Teach, cheating out the Edward Weevil. We're going to take the hit, and we need to decrease our hand size as quickly as possible. We're going to swing for 5 at leader. They should take this and go down to 4 life, go up to 5 cards in hand. We are going to use an Ice Age to get rid of that Weevil just to slow them down a little bit. Because remember, guys, Ice Age in this matchup is not exactly insane, right? We have Tashigis to deal with all these 5-cost and lower characters with our leader effect. And then the Ice Age is actually just going to help our Brook get rid of whatever we want to. Okay, so let's see what happens here. I do want to get rid of some of these cards on the board. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Ice Age on the Boa Hancock seems like the way to go here. -5 there. Now we actually have the ability to go... hang on. I think I might mess up a little bit here. No, never mind. I know what I'm going to do here. I do -1. So notice what I did there, guys. Pause. I did -1 to the Marshall D. Teach over here, and then used the rest of the effect of Brook to pop the 0-cost character. And now I'm going 5 into 5, and this is a very good spot for us. All right, so here we go. Now I'm going to play that out. I don't think that was necessarily the right call there. I guess I wanted to draw a card. Let me explain another option we had there. I should have done attach 1 Dawn to Smoker to do -1 more to teach, give him +1, and I swing 7 into the Jinbei, which he might not have been able to get out of. And then I can play out the Brook to pop the teach, right, after that. So, you know, seems good, right? Seems good. But instead, we did not do that. That's okay. We are going to fix our hand a little bit. We're going to play out the Sengoku, trashing these 2 dead cards. We get 2 2K counters. We'll take it every time. We are on pace for a Gecko Moria next turn. This guy's in trouble. We're going to 2K counter out of that. We're going to take that hit from 6. He'll swing in for 7. We'll probably... Okay, he whiffs that. That was a blind leader effect there. We're going to take it, and he just passes. He has 4 Dawn left for the turn. He can play out the Jinbei, I guess. What does that do for him? I'm not exactly sure. And he just basically resigns or concedes right away. So let me explain how this next turn was going to go, guys. I would then be on my 8 Dawn turn. And remember, I kind of messed up the turn before. I should have went more into the Jinbei there. But it ended up working out fine where we fixed our hand and we're completely okay here. Because now I'm on an 8 Dawn turn and I can just slam down this Gecko to do whatever we need to from here. I have a lot of different options. I'd have to see what my trash is, but whatever the case is, I don't even have to play out my Gecko, to be honest. I can do like a brand new turn, play out the Ice Age, popping cards left and right, slamming into this board. It just becomes such a monstrous ordeal for my opponent to get through at this point, and I think we can just pretty much bully him out of the game from this point on. Good game to my opponent. They did leave a little bit early, though. Okay, next up we have a game versus Shanks. Let me go full screen. Speed is 2x, and here we go. Shanks is a tough matchup, guys. This is a tough matchup here for any deck. Shanks can kind of just beat anyone. We did get to go second, which was good for us. We play out the Brandon. We do a search. We play out this Kuzan. We're going to draw a card. We're fixing our hand. We have double Gecko Moria in our hand, but we're actually missing a very important card. We're going to 2K counter out of this early on. I don't want to go too low against Shanks. They get very aggressive. What card are we missing, guys, that could really, really help us in this situation? Tashigi. Where is our Tashigi? We're going to swing for 6. Let's see what happens here. We're going to swing for 6. They are going to block with their Lucky Roo and 2K counter. That's peculiar. They're trying to get us to swing into it, but we're not doing that. We're going to swing 7 at face. This should go through. We're going to slam down a Sengoku. Well, first probably the Brook. Popping that. Let's see what he chooses to do. He should get rid of the Kuzan. That should be a no-brainer here. Unless he wants to swing into the Kuzan next turn, which might have been the better call. We're going to play out the Sengoku. We're going to trash the Borsalino and the other Sengoku, and we draw into some pretty decent firepower for later in the game. Some pretty decent gas for later. He's going to swing in for 5 here. I think we should counter out of this. Yeah, we'll trash the Rebecca and get it back next turn with the Gecko Moria if we need to. And let's see what they do next. They have 7 Dawn left. I expect something like maybe a 7 cost, yeah, a Ben Beckman. Okay, seems good, but we're not upset about that. We're completely fine. We have a few options now. It's our turn. We draw Rebecca for the turn here. So we can do some Ice Age shenanigans here to try to get rid of this character if we need to. It really just depends on what we're trying to do. We're going to play out basically a value Gecko Moria because I don't really have anything too good here from the trash. And let's see what ends up happening. We're going to go Rebecca Sengoku. We're going to use the Sengoku first, and we are going to trash the Borsalino and the Shishigi, drawing 3 more cards. Then we're going to use the Rebecca to get out of 2K counter. We're going to replace the the Sengoku there, and we're just doing that to get some extra threats on the board and try to distract my opponent a little bit. And we have a 9K Gecko Moria now. They're going to swing in for 6. We're going to give them a 2K counter. Again, I don't want to dip too low, guys. We're going to give them the blocker here, and here we go. They're going to play out a Rayleigh. Okay, seems good. They pop my Brook and reduce the power of my Gecko Moria. Well, guys, I do want to get rid of one of these characters. It is of utmost importance. It is of total, like, just vital importance here that we get rid of some of these characters, at least one of these characters. Okay, so with that in mind, we do have an option to play down the Kaido. I'm trying to do as much as I can in my head here. There was probably a better way I could have gone about this. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. But, guys, I'm going to be honest. I just want to get rid of one of these big characters here. So I'm looking at it one more time to see what I want to do. And I think we're just going to go 1 Dawn on Smoker. Let's see. 1 Dawn on Smoker, I believe. Yeah, that was almost a mistake. -1 to the Rayleigh. Swing in for 6. He's going to take this. I'm going to slam down Kaido, and we're just going to trash a card, trash the Hina. We're going to pop the Rayleigh. Okay, here we go, guys. He's got a 10 Dawn turn. First 10 Dawn turn here. And I think he's going to play out the 2-cost event to search up what he needs. That's a pretty nice card, guys. Pretty solid card there, called Highest Point Reach. That's the red 2-cost searcher event for anything that costs 4 or more. They're coming in for 5. They have 8 Dawn left. Okay, well, that's telling me that they either have Dragon or another Rayleigh. And it looks like they're going to have, let's see, another Dragon. They're going to go 11 into 9. I have to let that go. I can't save the card, and now they're going to go 7 into face. We're just going to take this. We get another Gecko Moria. This is nice and all, but I have to say something, guys. Something does have to be said. It's nice that we got the Kaido. Tashigi would have been unbelievable in this game, guys. If I could have gotten some Tashigis earlier, it would have made this matchup way, way easier, right? We're going to go 9 into 7. Let's see what he does. He's going to go leader effect minus whatever there. And now we can actually do some different things here. We have some options here. I have to really make sure I do things the exact way I need to. I kind of like the idea of just slamming down another Kaido personally. Yeah, just -1 to this Dragon. Okay, we're going to do it this way. We're going to swing for 6. We are going to Ice Age to drop that down to 6. We're going to play out the Gecko, get out another blocker because I am getting kind of low here. And I'm thinking, okay, what do I want to get back? And I choose to get back the Sengoku. We play out the Rebecca first. I just did that to get my brand new in the trash, I guess, because I can't even use the Sengoku here. We go ahead and pop the Ben Beckman. We have a blocker now. We still have 3 life. We're pretty safe. We're relatively safe here. They're going to go 5 into my Brook. I'm not happy about that, but, you know, there's not a whole lot we can do in this situation. There's not a whole lot we can do. We just have to grit our teeth and bear with it, right? Or just deal with it. They're going to go 9 into 8 here. We're going to give them a blocker, I think. Yeah, and kind of force them to swing into it here. We did save a life like that. And, okay, we did get an Ice Age. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. And in this situation here, yeah, it looks like we're going to go -5 there. And do I have any Surus in my trash? I don't even think I have any Surus or Kobes in my trash. So very, very annoying. It looks like we're going to trash a... Let's see what we decide to trash here. We're going to trash that. We're going to go... They give me a 2K counter. We're going to go 5 in a face. See if he wants to do Dawn. Okay, nice. He did -1,000 there. So now we're going to go 1,000 into his Dragon. And he's going to 2K counter out. Let's see what he has, man. Guys, this was a crazy game. This was an absolutely insane game right here. He's going to go 9 into 9. I'm going to force him to get out of that. Drops down a Goldie Roger. It's gone now. He's going to go 5 into face. So there are some options here to just go for the board very aggressively. But, guys, I'm not going to do that. I finally get Tashigi, guys. We finally get a hold of Tashigi. Seems good. But now it's like, okay, it's a little too late. I don't have any more of my Ice Ages. I had to use them completely inefficiently, right? I had to use my Ice Ages as inefficiently as humanly possible. All right, so here we go. We're going to swing in for 5. Let's see if he uses the leader effect. Okay, now we can go 9 into 9 again. We can actually go 11 into 9, and this card is pretty much guaranteed gone unless he had 2K, 1K in hand. Now we can go Rebecca. We get out another Rebecca. Or excuse me, we can go Gecko Moria, get out another Rebecca, brand new. We're fixing our hand. We're getting 2K counters, and now things are starting to look up right here. Things are starting to look pretty good for us now. It's not over yet, but it's starting to look better for us. Then they get an Edward Newgate, right? Hey, we're getting good cards. They're getting good cards. Seems good. They're going to pop the blocker there. They're going to go 15 into 9. Yeah, that card's gone. Yeah, that card is gone. That is true. Swing 7 into 5 here. We're going to take it. We could have countered out. But, guys, we're at the point now where it's time for me to see how greedy my opponent wants to be. How greedy does my opponent want to be is the question. So right here, I've got some options here. Not many, to be honest. So I could okay, we're going to go 7 at face. Okay, let's see what he does. If he takes it, he's in deep, deep trouble. Now we're going to go 9 at face. He has to use leader effect, double 2K or 2K, 2K, 1K. He takes it. Okay, I'm all in. This is all I have. Let's see what he had. We're going to go in for 11. He goes -1. And yeah, I don't know what he did there, guys. Maybe he got a 2K at the very end. That was a very good game for my opponent there. It came down to the very last attack like that. But it was pretty much all I had left, given what he had on the board. I had no more blockers. I had no more ways to search for blockers. So I had to go for it. Because remember, I couldn't get out of like a 13K and a 15K attack. It's not happening. So I basically just had to go all in. And my best attack was 7, 9, 11. I think I kind of caught him off guard there. He should have gotten out of my 7K, unless who knows, maybe maybe the 2K came during that time, and then the 9K came in, and maybe they got a 1K then. I have no idea. Whatever the case was, I don't know if they expected me to swing for 11. I think we caught them off guard there, and that definitely helped us. That was in our favor big time. But again, I want to say one more thing, guys. If I had simply just gotten my 5 calls to Shigis earlier on, this would have been a very different game. He would have never gotten that the lucky Rue value. Things would have gone very differently. Good game to my opponent, though. Very, very good game. They played that very well. Okay, speed 2x, volumes off. We got a game here versus green purple Luffy. This is a guys. This is a leader that has been popping up all over the place in the East ever since EB02. And it seems like it's going to be a very strong leader. We're going to start off with a double Sin Goku search, guys. I'm throwing everything in my trash. 2K counter, I don't care what it is. I'm trying to get through my deck as much as I can. And look what we get to, guys. We've got a very strong hand at this point. We've got 4 Dawn for a Kuzan play right here. They're gonna block right away, cash in on the value of that Nico Robin, go down to 4 Dawn, go down to 2 Dawn, so they're at 4 this turn. That's fine with me. Swing for 5. We are going to 1K counter out of that to get a Brook in the trash. They're going to play out a Zoro Juro, and we actually have a pretty decent turn lined up here, guys. We have a pretty decent turn. We're going to go swing 6, swing 7, pop that Zoro Juro, and develop a blocker and my Brook in the process. So seems good. It does seem very good. Here we go, swinging in for 7. They take it. Rebecca will grab back a 2K counter, probably to Shigi, slamming down a Brook. Pop your dude. Get out of here with that, right? We'll get that out of here. Okay, let's see what they choose to do next, guys. Let's see what they're going to try next here. They're up to 6 Dawn. This is when they would typically play out like a stage plus Sanji, right? This is typically when they'd play out a stage plus Sanji. And they are down to the same Dawn as us because they took, I think, hang on. Yeah, they should have been able to draw a card from that, right? Maybe not. Maybe I missed it. Anyway, they're going to play out Sanji and Pudding. They're going to go ahead and cheat their Dawn out the way they normally do. They're going to do a Going Merry to do probably +2 to this character. Okay, yep, they give him +2. Now that character is up to 7. But guys, remember, we have a Kuzan on the board, okay? So we're doing just fine. They're going to go 6 into 4. We're not going to let them have that. I'm actually very tempted to use my 2K here. I could go 2K 1K if I wanted. But I think clearing up space on the board is actually the better call in this situation. Okay, we do that. We block. We get full value there. And guys, we do have to kind of deal with this board a little bit. I can Ice Age to drop the Pudding down to, what? Down to, he's at 7, so drop it to 3. Yep. And now we're going to go -1, dropping it to 2. Now we're going to go swing for 6, I think, to actually, let's see how we do this. Oh, that was enough right there, dropping it down to 0, I guess. I did the math wrong somewhere. So we swing in for 6 there, and we pop the Sanji and Pudding. They 1K counter out. Now we're going to swing for 6 into this, -1 there. And then we can swing in for 6 more with the leader. Yep, and then we can go ahead and slam down another Brook, getting rid of their character. So, guys, this is the problem Green has always faced going against Black, is Black just removes every character they drop as they drop it. And this is Purple as well, but still, it's extremely powerful. So they play out a Sanji and Pudding here, use the effect. Guys, they've got some Sanjis and Puddings here. This seems pretty good for them. Okay, now we are going to aggressively counter out here no matter what. They're going to go 6 into 4. Well, okay, we might... I don't know if we should save that card. Looks like we might. Yeah, we can go 2K, 1K. I'm checking my trash real quick. We'll save that card, I guess. I do think we could have let that card go. We got it to Shigi for the turn. Seems good. I want to play out my... I do want to play out the 9-cost Kaido this turn if I can. That or the Gecko Moria are both very strong. So here we go. We are going to swing in for 6. We're going to go -4 there. Then we're going to swing in there, -1. So we did, okay, pause. So guys, we did -1 to the Sanji and Pudding popping the 0 cost. And now we're going to do -1 more. And none of these attacks are going through because they're 2,000 under the leader. And here we go. Now we're going to slam down the Gecko. We're going to trash a 2K counter from hand because our life is pretty stacked. Yeah, I do not think I should trash these other characters. Very good. Popping the Sanji and Pudding. And our board is ferocious, guys. Our board is very intimidating right now. That's double Brook, a Kuzan, Kaido, and you know, our leader is Smoker, so we can reduce costs there as well. So he has to find a way to deal with this while also not losing on the crackback, right? He's playing out another Sanji and Pudding. Okay, he found 3 of those this game, and that does seem very good. That's a lot of card draw he got, guys, because each one of those draws a card if you have equal to or less Dawn than your opponent, I believe. So he's going to use the effects going down and Dawn, but ramping one of them back and standing 2 up, playing out the Sanji, or the Luffy here. 7 into 4, he's going to get that. He's going to go 6 into 4, he's going to get that as well. And let's see what we do here, guys. He's going to just tap out. It was not the craziest thing in the world. I'm going to get rid of both of these characters this turn, or at least to the best of my ability, and we're just going to completely deal with him here. We're definitely getting rid of the Sanji and Pudding. That is priority number 1. And we are maybe he left because he forgot to do the stage. Well, hey, if that guy's listening, the stage wouldn't have mattered, okay? Because I have a Kuzan on the board. So this turn, what I was probably going to do was slam down the Gecko Moria. So it was going to be attach 1 Dawn to my Kuzan, swing in for 5, right, with the Kuzan. Or swinging for 6 into 6 with Kuzan, -5 to the Sanji and Pudding, and then it's going to be, we're just going to swing all out here, and then it's going to be swing 7 with the leader after doing all that, because he was only 5 here, and if we had to, we could have played out the Gecko. There were a million different ways we could have done this, but it was at least going to be swing 6, swing 9, and I think I probably just let him keep this Luffy, because I just don't think he can do what he needs to and survive next turn, because we're going to have a Gecko Moria, and we're also going to have whatever we get back with the Rebecca to get rid of this with the Brook. So good game to my opponent there. They kind of left. The writing was on the wall. They bailed out a little bit early. Okay, we got one more game, and this one was an absolute banger. This was a very fun game here against Red Green Smoker. And again, guys, this is another green deck. We don't... That's one thing about the black decks. They don't typically struggle into green, because green tries to very fairly play out one card at a time. We got a Sengoku there into a double search, into another. Double Sengoku search going second feels really good, guys. You fill up your trash so much, you sort through all your cards and get to the stuff you need. And then you have 2 bodies on the board. They're not super important, but hey, they're better than nothing. We'll swing in for 5. They actually take that very aggressively. That was very interesting. We're going to play out a Kuzan. Hey, we got our Tashigis this game, guys, and those things are probably going to come in a little bit handy. Wink, wink. Give you a quick hint. Those Tashigis are probably going to come in very handy. Okay, here we go. They're on their 5 Dawn turn. This is typically when they play out the Smoker. Let's see if they actually have Smoker. They might not have it. Hey, every now and then, guys, your opponent doesn't see every card they need, right? And some people are like, nope, whenever I play, my opponent sees everything they need. I'm going to 2K, 1K out pretty aggressively here. I don't want to dip down too low for no reason. They're going to swing it for 7. I take that. We get a Kobe. Very nice. And here we go, guys. We've got some options here. I do want that card gone. I want the Tony Chopper out of here. That card defensively in Red Green Smoker is insane. That is a 4-cost 7K blocker, guys. Understand that. That is a 4-cost 7,000 power blocker. And it's a 2K counter in hand. Okay, we're going to swing in. We pop that with the Tashigi. We trash it. We're going to go and swing in for 7 there. We're not swinging with Kuzan. We're not swinging with Kuzan. They're going to have to find another way. They're going to have to find another way to deal with me than Kuzan. Than attacking into my Kuzan. Okay? Let's see what they choose to do next here. They're going to play out the Virgo. They do a top search. And they still have 7 Dawn left, or 6 Dawn left to work with. They're going to play out Carrot. Hey, that's why we didn't swing with Kuzan, guys. That's one of the reasons. They play out the Carrot. It gets 0 value. And now we are going to probably just deal with this card. We're on an 8 Dawn turn. So there's my trash. Let's look at my trash real quick. What kind of options do we have here? Playing out Gecko Moria. Now notice this, guys. I do not have Rebecca in my trash. So I actually can't play out a very strong Gecko Moria here to get back some really crazy interactions. But I can go Sengoku to fill up my trash a little bit and play out a I could play out a Borsalino active and a Sengoku rested and get some searching done in that way and develop a very big body. But we have no removal in the trash, right? So that's a big issue. But let's see how we decide to handle this. What would you guys do? Pause it if you need to, and figure out what you would do, and then see what I do afterwards, and see if we lined up. Because there are other plays we could do, guys. There are other plays we could do. Okay, here's one of them. Tashigi -4 there. That was not necessarily the best play, by the way, but I think it was a fine play. I'm trying to decide how I want to do this. I'm going to swing in for 5 here. Yeah, because I want to use the Yeah, I wanted to use the Brook there. We're not going to swing 5 with Kuzan. We're going to swing 5 there. We will swing with Tashigi. I have no problem swinging with Tashigi, but swinging with Kuzan is just a mistake, guys. If you swing with Kuzan here, I think it's strictly a mistake, especially when we're sitting on a Kaido in hand. We can deal with anything we want to here. Okay, there's a Eustace Kid. That's not going to help them in this specific situation, guys. We can trash the card if we need to with Kaido. We're going to 1K counter out of that. They're going to attach a Dawn, of course. That's the way to do that. And here we go. Let's see what they do. We are going to, I'm pretty sure we're going to attach a Dawn to Smoker. Yep. Attach a Dawn to the leader. We'll do -1 to the to that Eustace Kid. Slam down the Kaido. We'll trash one of these Geckos from hand probably. Oh, or the Rebecca. I actually like trashing the Rebecca there a little better, believe it or not, guys, so we can get in the trash for our Gecko next time. And then we trash their Gecko, excuse me, their Eustace Kid. We're finally going to start swinging with Kuzan. We're going to smash in here, popping that. And now we've got 3 6s coming their way. That's going to be a Kamakura Jutsushi. Okay, we can't swing with that now. And then we're coming in for 1 more 6. And now they're down to 1 life. We're at 2 life. I need to stay at 2 life, guys, in case they try some shenanigans with Hody Jones. They're going to play down to Doflamingo. They're trying to set up an OTK on me. Just understand that right now, guys, think, guys, what are they doing? They did not even swing. I don't know what they're trying to do there. They should have swung, in my personal opinion, but I guess they didn't want me to, I guess they didn't care. So swing for 7. They're going to give up. Understand, we're not going for lethal when they have 2 Dawn open. That Kamakura Jutsushi card is a 5,000 power difference. We're not going all in here at all. In fact, what we're going to do, and the person did say GG, by the way, so good game to that person. That was a really good game. Our turn here, I had a spicy play lined up for my opponent. Let me tell you guys the play I came up with. This was the spicy play I had lined up for my opponent here. Okay, in my trash, I do not have Rebecca, remember? So I was going to swing 9, swing 7 like we just did, and I'm not going all out on the Brook for what would that be, 9 plus 4 is 13? We're not doing that. First of all, they could get out of it. 13, watch this. Kamakura Jutsushi, okay, let's just call that +5, even though it does +3 and -2 to the character. Let's just call it a +5 for the sake of math. That puts them at 10, and then double 2K, they're at 8. They got out of it. And then they still have a Hody Jones in hand. We'd have lost 2 next turn, by the way, if we had not dealt with this and then tried to do that. So what we're actually going to do in this situation is right here, we would swing first with Brook at face 4/4, where it just bounces, and we would pop the this card right here. We would pop the Virgo, okay? Then, here's what I had planned, guys, with 9 Dawn left still, right? Ice Age to the 10 cost guy. Ice Age to the 10 cost Doflamingo. Use my Kaido's effect to trash a card. It doesn't do anything other than trash a card. I can't pop a 7 or less. I'm going to trash the Rebecca so I can get a blocker on the board. It wouldn't matter, of course, versus a Hody Jones, but at least we'd stay at 2 life, right? And here's the thing. We're going to play out the Gecko Moria, playing out a Subaru from the trash, playing out the Rebecca we just played, use the Subaru effect first to do -2 to the Doflamingo, and then pulling out the whatchamacallem, then activate the Rebecca, pulling the Kobe out on top of the Subaru we just played to get rid of that card, where they only have 1 card left. We have a blocker, and we have 2 life. We're fine. And in that specific situation there, guys, here's how it would look. We would get rid of the Brook we already attacked with, because we're going to get a Brook back anyway. And then we would get rid of 1 Kuzan and 1 of these Tashigis. We'd keep the 9 cost Kaido. That's it. And then we would have wiped their entire board and finished on the next turn. Very technical play. I had a spicy play lined up for my opponent because I knew they were trying Hody Jones, guys. I've played Red Green Smoker enough to know, and I've played against it enough to know now, Hody Jones is a absolute finisher in that deck. We are not going for 13. We are not going for 13. One thing the guy did say to me over here before he said GG was he was like, swing all out, dude, you got it. Yeah, right, bud. We're not swinging all out. Good try. Good try. We're not doing that. I swung 9. I swung 7. I had that 9 Dawn play lined up with the Ice Age, Gecko, Rebecca, and Kobe from the trash and Subaru. Okay. Good game to my opponent, though. Still a very good game. A very fun game. And, yeah, that is what Smoker can do, guys. I know a lot of people are probably disappointed. Like, oh, why didn't you play against why didn't you play against Blackbeard or something like that? Hey, you try that matchup out and tell me how you do against it. It is very doable with Smoker, by the way, because we do have access to cards like we are running the Kaido. There are ways to deal with Blackbeard with Marshall D. Teach, but that was not for today's video. All right, that's it, guys. I really don't have a lot more to add. I just want to say that this deck is performing very well. This leader is very strong because it has Tashigi and Sengoku. Very, very powerful. And this Kaido is something I think we played this card in every single matchup. Guys, I think we played it in literally every single matchup. It is a very, very strong card. And yeah, very solid. The Rebecca, Gecko, Brook, Ice Age, Suru, brand new combo, I'm going to call it now. And now even the Sengoku combo. very, very strong, guys. I had a lot of success with it. I did not get a lot of value out of the Hina, but I do still think this card is very important because it is another 3-cost target we can cheat out with the Rebecca. But I will say this, I do wish I could change the deck a little bit. I don't know how we would do it, but I would like to add in some 7-cost jacks. I think this is a very good card, or maybe even the new Sengoku, guys, because notice this list is complete, guys. You can play this list right now in OP09. Every one of these cards is already available, and I think this did, well, I don't think this did good in a tournament from the East. They're in OP10. So this list is very strong, but hey, this is a card you can mess with. This is a 7-cost, 7,000 power, 1K counter blocker, already good stats and everything right there, and then it has an on play up to 1 Black Navy type character card with a cost of 4 or less from your trash rested. So you're going to be able to cheat out cards like Kuzan, Kobe, potentially, Borsalino, brand new. There's a lot of options, and you just developed a 7-cost, 7,000 power character. So that's really not the worst thing in the world. I think the hardest part about making this card work is where do you put this card in the deck? Where do you fit it in at? Kobe was very good. We didn't see it a whole lot in today's video, but I do think it's still a very good card. The Hina and the Kobe are just pure utility. Let me just say, excuse me, let me just call it what it is. These are just incredible utility cards. They're very solid. But yeah, I don't think I would change these out, guys. I think they're just good. Hina in particular being this 3-cost card, even though it has no counter, it's a 3-cost 5K we can cheat out, with this Rebecca, like the whole Gecko Rebecca effect if we have to. But most importantly, it's also just a great card to trash early on with your Sengokus. So that is something you have to really consider, or even later in the game. Later in the game, Gecko Moria, trash your Hina, or excuse me, not Gecko Moria, excuse me, Kaido. Kaido, later in the game, trashing your Hina to pop what you need to. So really good stuff there, guys. Very fun deck to play. I really enjoyed this one. This was a very enjoyable video to make. Guys, every now and then, you guys know I play a lot of janky decks, right? I play a lot of janky decks, and that's putting it mildly. And every now and then I play a deck that's meta. It is such a breath of fresh air, guys. Hey, I'm a deck builder at heart, guys. You guys know I love to play my rogue janky decks and have fun. That's what this channel is all about. But at the same time, it is good to play some of the more competitive stuff every now and then to see how it works, to see how the deck's built, and see how it's working and all that good stuff, and also to learn how to play against it a little bit better. Okay, all right, I'm done, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please do not forget to like, subscribe. We will have a stream tonight. Okay, it's Tuesday night at the time of recording this. We have it every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. Be sure to stop by if you get some extra time. Say hey, hang out with us, and all that good stuff. And yeah, all right, that's it, guys. We finally fixed the outro. Okay, we finally fixed the outro, guys. Check this out. We got it condensed to this now. Let me go ahead and move my face up to here. Actually, right where the VV is. We'll just take over where the VV is. Big shout out to everybody who supports the channel, guys. Whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing. And for now, guys, here's what we're going to deal with, for the supporter page. Thank you to everybody who is a Patreon on the who's contributed through Patreon, PayPal, or other donations, Playmat supporters, YouTube members, Discord community, and just everything, guys. I really appreciate it. This has become one heck of a project here. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all. It's been a lot of fun, right? It's been a lot of fun so far, right? That didn't sound right like I'm leaving or something, but no, guys, this has been so much fun, and I hope it keeps going. All right, we're done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Again, please do not forget to like and subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below. And yeah, till next time, guys. Peace.